The Galactic Academy's most prestigious examination hall hummed with nervous energy as representatives from 43 species settled into their assigned seats. Admiral Zexathari of the Void Hunters flexed his razor-sharp talons, confident in his species' reputation as the galaxy's apex predators. In what appeared to be self-satisfaction, the crystal architects clicked their geometric forms together behind him. Legendary were their world-changing technologies. Even the menacing self-assurance of the massive devastators, whose muscles could crush the hulls of starships, was present. The exam was straightforward in concept, but terrifying in execution. Identify the greatest threat in this room. Dr. Elena Vasquez sat quietly in row 3, adjusting her wire-rimmed glasses and smoothing her unremarkable brown cardigan. At 42, she looked exactly like what she was, a xenobiology professor from Earth's smallest colony, New Tasmania. She carried nothing more threatening than a worn leather satchel containing her research notes and a coffee thermos, and her graying hair was pulled back in a practical bun. The other candidates barely glanced at her. The Raid Cosmic Arbiter's voice was heard throughout the dimensions, and it said, "Begin." The room broke into chaos right away. The Void Hunters displayed their natural weapons with a snarl and posture. The architects began projecting holographic displays of their planet-cracking siege engines. The Devastators simply stood and flexed, their bio-armor gleaming. Even the normally tranquil harmony singers started weaving their reality-altering melodies together, demonstrating how they could drive entire civilizations into madness with just sound. Elena opened her thermos, poured herself a cup of coffee, and began sketching in her notebook. 2 hours later, as the various species finished their elaborate threat displays, the Cosmic Orbiter called for answers. First, Admiral Zansafathari came forward. The Devastators pose the greatest threat. Their physical might could crush any opposition. I've seen them tear apart battle cruisers with their bare hands. The lead architect chimed melodically. Incorrect. The Void Hunters pose the greatest danger. Their hunting instincts and pack tactics have brought down civilizations spanning multiple star systems. One by one, each species identified another as the primary threat. The pattern was predictable. They all chose the most obviously dangerous, the most visibly powerful, the most dramatically threatening. When they reached row 3, Elena looked up from her notebook. "Oh, are we sharing answers now?" She closed her book gently. "Humanity poses the greatest threat in this room." The room was filled with ripples of laughter. The Void Hunter Admiral actually chuckled, a sound like grinding metal. "You, a single unarmed human academic?" Elena smiled politely. "Not just me, humanity as a whole." She moved steadily and calmly as she stood. "You see, you've all made the same fundamental error. You've confused dangerous with threatening." She began walking down the aisle, her soft-soled shoes making barely a whisper on the floor. The Devastators are incredibly dangerous in direct combat. The Void Hunters are indeed the highest predators. The architects build weapons that can crack worlds, but none of you are the greatest threat. "Explain," commanded the Cosmic Arbiter, its interest clearly piqued. Elena reached into her satchel and withdrew her notebook. "I've spent the last 2 hours cataloging everyone here. Biological weaknesses, technological dependencies, psychological profiles, social structures." She flipped through pages covered with diagrams, chemical formulas, and behavioral observations. The Void Hunters, for instance, magnificent predators. But you hunt in packs with strict hierarchies. Eliminate the alpha and the pack fragments. Your enhanced metabolism necessitates particular amino acids, which are only found in certain species of prey and can be easily obtained through targeted starvation. Admiral Zek's Athari's confident posture wavered slightly. Elena carried on walking. The architects are living. Crystals, beautiful and brilliant. However, specific resonant frequencies are found in crystalline structures. I've calculated at least 6 sonic wavelengths that would shatter your consciousness irreversibly. The Devastators. For all your bio-armor and strength, you're still biological. Engineered viruses, tailored toxins. There are numerous strategies for negating your advantages. The entire room had fallen silent. You see, Elena said, returning to her seat and sipping her coffee, you've all evolved to be dangerous. But humans, we evolved to be clever. Every species here is more powerful than us in direct confrontation. So we don't fight directly. We study. We adapt. We find the weaknesses that evolution never bothered to address because they were too subtle, too specific, too unlikely to matter in natural selection. She gestured around the room. You're all specialists, perfected by millions of years of evolution for specific roles. But humans are generalists. We are the most dangerous species in the galaxy because we are good enough at everything, even though we are not the strongest, fastest, or smartest at any one thing. But you're just one individual, protested a harmony singer, though its melodic voice carried less confidence than before. Elena smiled again, that same polite, professional expression. Am I? How do you think I was able to obtain comprehensive biological profiles of species I had never previously encountered? How did I calculate those specific sonic frequencies? Where do you think the database of xenobiological weaknesses came from? The truth settled over the room like a cold blanket. I'm not here to take your exam, Elena said quietly. I'm here to give it. For the past 50 years, every species that's joined the Galactic Council has attended this academy. Every promising individual, every potential threat, every genetic sample and technological innovation, all cataloged, all studied, all understood. She stood once more, her voice remaining conversational and pleasant. You wanted to identify the greatest threat in this room. Thank goodness you found her. But she was never sitting among you. She was sitting in row 3, taking notes, sipping coffee, and being systematically underestimated by every single one of you. The cosmic arbiter's voice resonated with what might have been approval. Examination complete. Results: species identification accuracy 0%. Threat assessment accuracy 100%. Elena packed her thermos back into her satchel and headed for the door. Thank you all for the biological samples, by the way. Electromagnetic signatures, shed scales, and dead skin cells are all very helpful to the research. Earth sends its regards. 42 of the most dangerous beings in the galaxy sat in stunned silence as the door closed behind them, finally comprehending why no one had ever conquered Earth despite humanity's apparent weaknesses. The greatest predators in the galaxy had just discovered they'd been the prey all along, and their hunter had been sitting quietly in row 3, taking notes.